Fantastic. Well, there.
When the sun sets today on Saldanha Bay, the champions of the 2019 SuperSport Rugby Challenge will have been showered in champagne, framed in fire and catalogued in the annals of South African rugby history. Right here is where the rubber meets the road, and for the second year running, Mpumalanga Pumas and Griquas are the two teams that have stood the test of time. The reigning champions take on the three-time finalists. It is time to get wild on the West Coast. The weather has treated us perfectly, just a small break in the rain that has been pounding down on the Cape region. But right now we are looking at these starting lineups for the Pumas, the reigning champions. Andrew Beerwinkel, Turks legend, is into the team. Jandre Rudolph, champion of the Varsity Cup with Puka. Look out for Hilton Lobbits, as you saw mentioned there in the change rooms, a Bok, a bona fide Springbok. Devin Williams, he ran 10-4 for the 100 when he was 17 years old. Neil Moritz is impactful in the outside centre berth. Kwesi Mona, the turncoat, he comes back to face the Pumas 1 year after lifting the trophy with them. Watch out for Sias Kun, their captain. He is abrasive on the carry. Zach Berger, Shimler's stalwart this year, absolutely shining in the Varsity Cup. George Whitehead, he's been to all three finals of the SuperSport Rugby Challenge. Will the third time be the charm? Enver Brandt on the outside forms part of an extremely dangerous back three, along with Idris Arendse and Anthony Fulmink. And take a look at the shining silverware, the SuperSport Rugby Challenge. It's on offer for just the third time. We are waiting now for the teams to make their way to the field. Excitement levels could barely be higher. We will be singing our national anthem before this match gets underway, because it is of that level of importance. And you are looking at the Griquas of Kimberley making their way onto the field for the third of three finals of this competition. Their opposition today, just as last year, the Mpumalanga Pumas. Two humble unions that fight for their right here in the South African rugby landscape. Two Currie Cup Premier Division representatives readying themselves for the Currie Cup. They've knocked over big names on the way to getting here. There's Andrew Beerwinkel. But leading them forward is Ryan Null, captain of the Mpumalanga Pumas. Which of those two captains will be the one to lift this glorious trophy come the end of today's play? Gideon van der Merwe, he should have a big role to play, the number 6 for Griquas. He's been at Puka for a number of years. He's the kind of guy that likes to take a jog on the morning of a match, as if a rugby match wasn't tiring enough. The towers of flames rise as the anticipation increases as well. This Griquas side that overcame a bout of flu to overcome Western Province in the semi-final, scoring 7 tries along the path. Whereas the Pumas, they scored 7 tries when they met Boland in their semi-final last week in Kanyamazane up in Nelspruit. There's George Whitehead. How much does it mean to him? Ryan Null, captain of Pumas. And as I see him on screen, it is time for me to introduce alongside me former Blue Bulls player, a man who played alongside Hilton Lobbits, the man in the 22 jersey for Pumas today. His name is Mthunzi Mabeta. The feeling that you were describing in the change rooms, it's palpable from up here. And the fans have stayed here. These fans, none of them are from Kimberley, none of them are from Nelspruit, but they are here staying at the Saldanha Bay, the Transnet Saldanha Stadium, to watch the final of this competition. Mthunzi, how much does this mean to the community, and how much are these players looking forward to this match?
A huge success story for the community. We see Mark Alexander greeting the players. Absolutely brilliant. Great to watch them. You see George Whitehead, the captain. What a moment for the community. The vibe is huge out here, Paul Stubbs. It's a huge match, so much history, so much beef between the two sides, between the two coaches. It's going to be an absolute cracker. I cannot wait.
Absolutely not. There in the line, along with Mark Alexander, the mayor of Saldanha Bay as well. We have dignitaries galore. Anru Mares, Cape Town MEC of Sport. There is Mr. Davids, Deputy President of SARU. Peter Berger, the CEO of Pumas, and Henri van der Rooyen, the CEO of Griquas, both here. There's the man, Kwesi Mona. So much attention will be on. In 2018, lifted the trophy with Pumas after spending 3 years there, spanning 52 appearances for the Union. and now in 2019 he's with Griquas. What happened was he tried to go to the Kings, things didn't work out. Brent Janse van Rensburg was ready to pick up his contract. Sung with passion, sung with pride. Our national anthem, the perfect opening to the final of the 2019 SuperSport Rugby Challenge. Mthunzi Mabeta, the Pumas take on the Griquas for the second time running. This is the third time the Griquas have been to the final. Who do you think has the edge here this afternoon?
Oh, well, George Whitehead, what a servant of rugby he's been to South Africa. The journeyman, Vainon Willis, called him. He's the captain as well for them today, and I'm not biased, but wow, so many records to be taken here as well. Pumas unbeaten, imagine back-to-back trophies, unbeaten. What a record that would be. Everything for the Griquas to gain though. They've got the coach on their side, they've got Kwesi Mona on their side. Wow, there's just so much lying in this grudge match, Paul Stubbs. I cannot wait, and I don't know which way it'll go.
It ought to be an absolute screamer of a match, and the fact that the sun has come out just for today is, honestly, it's a blessing. It has been pouring down in Cape Town, and there is a brief moment of sunlight for us to see the ball get thrown around. Quick word on the man with the green jersey on there. That is Ben Krause. He will be the official for this match. Spent some time refereeing in the USA Major League Rugby, the MLR, this year. He racked up 68 hours in 18 flights, and this is his third SA Rugby final. He did the Currie Cup First Division in 2017, Griffins taking on Falker, SA Provincial Under 21, Bulls against Lions, and this is another big achievement for this official. Running the touch lines as well, Twengile Jadazweni and Quinton Immelman, two sons of Somerset West. So it is not just the players that get developed in competitions like this, it is our officials as well. Patiently waiting for the start of this match now.
See the battle scars on the faces of the Griquas players. It was a big game for them last week against Western Province.
One last reminder, 32-31 last year. Chris Smith gets us underway. It is up and chopped down on the collect for Griquas, William Wilson. Zach Berg is so impressive for Shimlers in this year's Varsity Cup. Both with his service and with his sniping ability, his express pace when the try is on offer as well. He wrote his name in lights in that competition. Whitehead. He's sending it long downfield. Both sides have dangerous back threes and counter-attacking is their practice. Chris Smith launches one high for others to chase. Well brought in. Has it been brought under control? However, no is the answer. I think it may be Zach Berger who's lost control, and Pumas have a put into a scrum.
Kick was chased down very well. Zach Berger gets up in the air. And it's just difficult to gather that. Just mistimes it shortly. Good pressure put on him by Devin Williams though. The aerial battle will be huge. 50-50 ball. It's all about margins when it comes down to the finals, and that time falls the way of the Pumas.
Bind. Sit.
Feed to the scrum comes from Rainier van Rooyen, but the arm is extended in the opposite direction. Griquas earn a penalty.
No.
Yep, well, Kwesi Mona gets the better of Marne Kutsia. Already making his presence felt. Very good kick. Griquas with an opportunity now right on the 22. See Kwesi Mona supporting his weight.
In the ball comes. It was one for Gideon van der Merwe. A trick play. It didn't work out. Popping out of the number 6's hands. He is dangerous on the run. Wilson. Charging in is Kwesi Mona. Berger. Sharp play early on from Griquas. The speed of delivery is self-evident. This is the way they brought the pressure to Western Province last week. Outside ball. And now charging forward is Brunt. Skipping through the tackles. It looked dangerous. However, the pass was deemed forward.
How dangerous is the number 11, Enver Brandt? Gas. 11 tries last year. He was the top try scorer.
Fun. AJ.
Else. Dummy to the back. They hit the front. And a knock on by Pumas. That's a coach killer early on. Both of these sides struggling to get to the pace of the match early. But as far as I can see, Mtunzi, Griquas seemed to be the sharper in the opening 3.5 minutes.
Yep, their lineout didn't look too convincing, but the Pumas, with Cameron Lindsay at number 5, controlling their lineout nice and early. Rainier van Rooyen just doesn't get it right. Very difficult to ask Willie Engelbrecht to pick that up. And the nerves obviously haven't settled yet. Still only 4 minutes into this first half.
Way up. Take better things. Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Ben Kraus calling a stop to that one. We will reset.
Are you happy with it?
Working out the kinks early on in the scrum battle. We saw a penalty early on given against Pumas. Neither side will want to get onto the back foot in the scrum battle. In Mtunzi, we were speaking about how crucial the battle between the forwards is at both set piece battles, whether it be scrum or line out.
Of course it will be. Kwesi Mona, friends with Marne and Kutsia actually, and now scrumming opposite each other.
Crouch.
No friend right now though. Huge battle up front.
Bind. Sit.
6 years of friendship between Mona and Kutsia. From the Sharks to the Pumas, and now Mona scrumming against his old friend. The Griquas will be allowed to get this one out. Zach Berger to the hard-running Andre Swartz.
Tackler, leave it.
Pumas.
Get back.
Defensive line sagging with that run, and now an advantage to Griquas. Positive start for the Po Blowers, the Peacock Blues, who are now moving towards the line with Van der Westhuizen. Mona almost taking them there. An advantage still being played They're going to keep it real simple here if the evidence suggests what it seems to. Ewald van der
Tackler,
Westhuizen
leave it. Rock.
weighing up their options again with AJ Leroux. And now the pick, it's back to Berger. Berger's a Whitehead. Whitehead over the top for Hasnar. Through the hands of Hasnar, it's Brandt now. Brandt. He's been marshaled by a number of Pumas defenders. The try was on if that went to hand. Berger, Morna, and the Griquas starting to exert pressure on the Pumas line. That pass going astray of a couple of potential receivers, but they set again with Berger. Everybody's out to the right. Whitehead sends it that way. Swartz with the dummy. The Pumas defense eye to eye, holding strong again, but the penalty is awarded.
Yep, Greek was playing all the rugby in the right places. Pumzile Makondwana caught offsides that time.
8 and 4. Second one was outside center. I think it was.
Greek was keeping the ball very well, keeping to their basics. Kwesi Mona has done well. He's run hard onto the ball, getting over the advantage line and putting pressure on this Pumas side, who because of their mistakes have given away possession, unable to exit. But of course, just like you do when it's finals time, George Whitehead ready to take the points.
Easy money there for Whitehead, a highly experienced number 10 who spent time at the Stormers among many other places, including the Kings. 3 points to 0, Griquas lead.
Such an interesting matchup. It really will be a game of chess out there strategically. Both sides play very similar rugby.
Chris Smith, pardon me, with the kickoff. Chris Smith, as this kickoff is launched high by the former Marties number 10. Let's mention the former Marties number 12, Chris Smith, who is in the Griquas squad this year, unable to make the squad for the final today. He is featured in the SuperSport Rugby Challenge. There's a strong theme of Varsity Cup players in these two sides. Morna handling that one against his old employers. And Sekekete gets it wider. Look at that clearing kick, and now charging up after it is Enver Brandt. They're sharp right now, Mtunzi. Their eyes are open, Griquas, to this match.
So sharp, really good play. Kwesi Mona, AJ Leroux doing so well there with that turnover, and Pumas now right back up against their 22.
I'll make sure of numbers. Don't push it. Cornel,
all the pressure coming from the Griquas.
In it comes from Cornelius Els. Back to Van Rooyen.
White pink.
And launching it away is Devin Williams.
Get out,
That's
get out.
Gary Owen of sorts. Zach Berger does well to make space for the claim, and he claims that he does. Brandt with a fantastic pass to Full Monk. Full Monk. High danger Full Monk. Spent many years at the Lions excelling. Inside ball from Kun. Greek was dominating possession and territory in the opening 10 minutes. Over the ball is Jandre Rudolph, and he has been given the reward for that. Will he be able to get the ball back onto Puma's side? It should be a scrum coming their way. No! The maul was created after he turned the ball over. Therefore, the put into the scrum is going to be in favor of Griquas.
Yep, not enough momentum coming from Jandre Rudolph's fantastic steal. Zach Berger did really well to keep him up off the ground, and because they took it in, it'll be Griquas' ball, but good defense coming from the Pumas. Still though, the Griquas apply some pressure. Now that they have possession of the ball, got that full left side of the pitch with a short blind side to attack. Willie Engelbrecht, he's been brilliant for the Pumas all season.
So I'll ask for slightly higher, and I want your
Once played in a Bull Sevens team alongside Duncan Matthews. Did Willie Engelbrecht.
Yeah.
And Jandre Rudolph, along with Pumzile Makondwana, make up the loose trio for
Pumas. To get into my good books, but I'll manage things.
Who have been very impactful this year, but the victories are really based on their tight five, the front three as well as those locks, those lineouts. And take a look at that face right there. You know him well, Mtunzi Mabeta. That's Jimmy Stonehouse.
Definitely, and look at that coaching team there. Mens to his right.
Coach!
done some stellar work with this Pumas side.
Bind. Sit.
Zach Berger to feed, heavily involved
Stay in,
in
stay
creating
in.
this opportunity.
Right,
Oh, it is
no,
tumult in there.
Out.
Exploding in the center. Referee
Leave it
Kraus
first,
happy
Declan,
to
leave
see
it
it all
first.
happen.
Leave it first. You took into ground.
Pumas called off it and then going back for it. And Captain Kun digs it out for Griquas. That is some strong running straight into the deck, setting a rack for Griquas. Here's Kun. Kun drops his head, waits for the support of his loose forwards and goes in. Michal Hasnar. Oh, he's known for loving those lines, and he never goes down. Even in the midst of the big hits, he's an aggressive outside center. Swartz inside to Volmink. And Volmink brought down outside the 22-meter line of Pumas. Berger to Kun. Kun presented well for Berger. The control of Greek was on display. Here's Hasnar. Missed the game last week due to the flu that affected so many of the team. Just as Greek was throwaway possession, Devin Williams, he dummies the kick and he begins to go. He is a man with wheels, so you need to watch out when he gets moving. And Neil Maritz, he's very difficult to bring down himself. Bierwinkel. Pumas finally in possession. What will they do with it behind their own 10-meter line, having had to defend wave after wave of Griquas' attack? Whitehead is back for the kick on this side, and Whitehead is underneath it right now. He rises high to receive and does well. The Pumas chase does secure some territory for them, but possession is back with Griquas. Swartz wide to Gideon van der Merwe. Van der Merwe off to Kun. Sias Kun, the battering ram of Griquas.
Hold on.
Berger slowing things down. Here's Mona. Leans into the contact. Sekek Erte protects.
Right, use it.
Berger sends it back to Whitehead, who hangs one high. There's Devin Williams, and Chris Smith is there in support. Smith trying for the handoff. Sias Kun was ready to dominate. Smith did well to get to ground. Oh, strong tackling from Griquas in the midfield. Looking short on options, Pumas, and they turn to the boot. As a result, Ryan Nell, their captain, sends it down to Anthony Volmink, who waits for Whitehead to get back into position, weighing up his options. Many people covering the touch kick.
3 and 1.
Gary Owen does not have a lot of distance on it, but underneath it, and there to claim is their highly experienced winger, Idris Arendse, who's been in the game for years. And now Swartz with the educated boot of the man who plays 10, 12 and 15. He launches it to the outside, and Brandt's almost getting onto the end of that. In spite of that, it was a brilliant kick.
Yep, there it is. Jimmy Stonehouse versus Brent Janssen van Rensburg. Oh, it's all about strategy. They know each other, they've worked together.
Earlier, otherwise I won't call numbers.
Very recently, Mtunzi, as recently as last year, in the final of this very competition, where Brent Janssen van Rensburg was the head coach of Pumas and Jimmy Stonehouse was the director of rugby. Now Jimmy's back in charge, and Brent has gone on to greener pastures at Griquas. Or should they prove to be that? We'll find out today. The Pumas back into the fray now. Willie Engelbrecht.
Leave it too late.
Penalty comes the way of Pumas. This will be a bit of a relief from Tunzi. So far, they have been completely put under the pump by this Griquas side.
Yeah, Gideon van der Merwe, no need to do that. Needs to keep a cool head. Easy exit now for the Pumas. Will this change momentum? Griquas controlling the game. Andre Swartz using his boots very, very well.
Gordon Els. They go short, back to Els. Els manages to keep his feet inside the field of play somehow. Pumas at last in possession. In a position perhaps to attack Griquas. Let's see what kind of shape their attack will take today. Cameron Lindsay.
Leave it 6, 8.
Line-out general for the Pumas with the offload on that occasion. Van Rooyen, he sends it out to Smith. It's popped out of the hands of Ryan Nell. Backwards is the call. The industrious inside center. What a sizable center pairing he makes up with Neil Moritz on the outside as well.
Back 10, 10.
Bunkel there to protect. He plays halfback, and Pumas keep moving it from left to right. No incisiveness as yet in their attack. Chris Smith turns to the boot. It's a hanging one again. Pressure on the receiver. Clearly they have seen some potential problems with the Griquas kick receipts. And the ball has come back on the Puma side. Well done by Cornelius Alsing. The pass was no longer on. Michal has now attached the breakdown, but there's numbers on the outside now. Williams, he sends it off to Chris Smith, who moves his team forward again. No, that was Neil Moritz. They've crossed the 22-meter line of Griquas now. This is where the physical side of the game comes to the fore. But Pumzile Matkondwana was sent to the floor on that occasion. Van Rooyen thought he saw something, the dummy in the go. They still move forward, Pumas. The muscle keeps moving them forward. They can slow it down, they can speed it up, but their accuracy remains there. Cameron Lindsay plays it blind. The grubber through from Smith. Is it on the corner? No, it's been knocked on. Enterprising stuff from Twinsy. Wow, these guys are accurate.
Neil Moritz, who's really made that outside center position his own. Explosive pace, explosive power, fantastic handoff. And we know both these sides, when they keep possession, they know how to play well. Chris Smith, beautifully weighted grabber kick and just unable to hold on to it, Marit.
And he was in as well, Mtunzi.
Ederisa Arendse does some good work to turn back and put some pressure on Neil Marit.
Well, truly, that is hope that that injury is not too serious. And here are the stats from the match thus far. Griquas dominating possession, Mr. Babeta.
You can see 26 tackles made for the Pumas. Yes, Griquas dominating the game. Pumas have made one or two more mistakes. You see their two handling errors. It's all about taking advantage of those mistakes and making your opposition pay when you do make a mistake, especially when the opposition's in their own 22.
Which number's coming on and off?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about right there, Mtunzi. These are the people of Saldanha Bay, and they are always in song, aren't they?
They are. Eco-tourism is huge out here. Happy, they'll be on their feet celebrating the tries. They can't wait to see a try.
Yeah, it's fine.
What a glorious part of the country here on the west coast, where you'll see an uninterrupted sunset as it sets over the sea. And you'll see all sorts of people who love their rugby. They absolutely do. Not all of those people are from Kimberley, but they certainly all have the flags of Griquas. 3 points to 0 after 15 minutes. Mtunzi, we expected a close match.
Very, very little between these two sides.
Coach!
We've seen that at scrum time.
Bind! Sit!
Look at Gideon van der Merwe on the near side of the scrum for Griquas.
Okay, gentlemen, that's a clear slip. We're going to move over.
Very well conditioned. Gets through a huge amount of work as well.
Okay,
Andrew Pierfunkel is scrummed really well for the Pumas.
Happy?
It will be a huge part of the game. Scrum time. Spoke about Kwesi Mona.
And immediate stability, please. Crouch. Crouch. Bind. Sit.
And now the scrum is set on the Griquas 5-meter line. It's fed by Zach Berger. Look at the size of Gideon van der Merwe, the flank for Griquas. Absolutely cut from stone. That is an abrasive run. As Griquas set themselves to get more space for the clearance. George Whitehead back here, prepared to put his boot to the ball. The Griquas through Mona, crash it up again. Zach Berger, slowly as they go, send it back to Whitehead, safe as houses, into touch.
It's good play. to exit. Griquas get that right, and that man's just come onto the pitch. DJ Teblanche, who has broken the record for being the most capped rugby player in South Africa.
5 in.
What a record. The
5
front
in.
ranker getting to 192 caps.
Numbers 1.
Up they go, and down come Pumas again. Stefan Willemse, this time the receiver. Usually 99% of the time is Cameron Lindsay. Pumas showing that they can mix up their styles, and they'll need to against this Griquas defense. But look at this rolling maul. It is ferocious. It is moving forward, and Ben Krause says there was no infringement to bring it down. No advantage being played. Van Rooyen. Simple pop, and Pumas move forward again. They will keep it tight, and they will keep it abrasive until they get their way over the line. Van Rooyen sees something on the blind. Chris Smith, he tries for a nice one to Nell. Nell, he's going for the line. Looks like he must be held up.
Q, I've got a clear held up. Same, thank you, same, held up. Attacking strong.
Well, this will be interesting. Captain Ryan Nell just holds his run really well there. Watch how Chris Smith puts him away through the gap, and big defense coming in from Ewald van der Westhuizen.
Let's go, gents.
Ryan Nell, the captain, has been huge for the Pumas. Combines really well with Chris Smith. His fly off.
Is this place good? Okay. Crouch! Bind! Sit! Elbows up, elbows up!
The feed from Rainier van Rooyen. The Pumas look at that scrum, holding strong. Engelbrecht breaks off the back. The Griquas defense is sharp to the task. They rush up to meet them. Still mere meters from the line for Pumas. Have been broken down there. Pierre Winkel around the corner now.
Get back here. Get back, Riga!
Stefan Willemse, Chris Smith, he throws a speculator to the outside. It was inside of the palms of the right wing for Pumas. Morne Hubert, he couldn't hold on.
11.
And another try goes begging.
I think Enver Brandt gets close enough to that pass to just make it difficult for Morne Hubert to take. That's what Chris Smith can do. He knows there's space out wide, and he's got a brilliant lofty pass on him.
Chris Smith has the kicking tee in his hand, and he will be going for posts for the potential to draw this match level at 3 points apiece, and we are about 21 minutes in. It is being played on a knife's edge, this rugby game. These points should be easy money for Chris Smith. He is a metronomic kicker on loan to the Bulls this year, but back at Pumas. Chris Smith, clean hit over the posts it goes, and we are level pegging.
Pumas get a reward for the pressure they applied on the Griquas. It was good play. If you notice, you'll notice, unlucky. Open try line and just unable to gather it. There's the danger man, Chris Smith. They were able to push off that attack from a solid scrum. Pierre Winkel moving into that loose head position.
Deep kick from Griquas, and it's Jean-Dre Rudolph. This man is built for the game. Takes it flying back into the Griquas defense.
Let's take it back, take it back.
Rainier van Rooyen over the top. Keeping his eye on the ball well, William Wilson, but he's missed out. Volmonk, he sees something. Volmonk throws out the palm. Anthony Volmonk, nobody in support. Outstanding tackle, chopping him down at the ankles. The ball retention is splendid, though. Mona! Kwesi Mona! Going for the line, 5 meters out now. Hard running from Kwan. He's been chopped out in a grass cutter. Is that clean? There's no advantage. Oh, it's all happening right now on the Pumas line. Zach Berger, he steps away. The big boys take it forward.
No, it's on the ground.
On the ground is the call from Ben Krause, and clearly
Hands and
not
feet,
over
hands
the
and
line.
feet.
Zach Berger steps away again to make space for the big men to go.
Yeah, that's
Kwesi Mona getting some attention from his old friend. Zach
first.
Berger almost snuck through the gap. He just had to reach out and touch. No such luck this time. Mona for the line. He's not going to make it this time. Griquas, they are knocking on the door right now. Kun, Berger, he sends it out to Hasna. Hasna wide to Full Monk. Anthony Full Monk scores the first try of the final.
Joey, please come in if you want me to check that.
Okay, just hold on.
I'll slow it down. Let's kick first. It's fun. Yeah, let's kick. It's fun. Wait for the good.
Anthony Full Monk. He started it all with his counter-attack. And it looks like they'll go upstairs, but wow, what a finish from him. Sias runs brilliantly. Look at that tackle from the record holder, DJ Tablanche.
Yeah. That's a tough one, Mtunzi. What do you think? This is good?
Well, he's using his arms. He's not using his shoulder there, so...
There was an arm going around to grab.
Thank you,
I
sir.
think,
That's what
I
I see
think
as well.
the record holder, DJ Tablanche, is okay there.
George, maar dit net gaan kyk, daar was 'n arm om.
Wow.
He did try to wrap.
Yeah, Sias Kun came in so hard.
Getting away with it there. The experienced individual, DJ Tablanche. Here's George Whitehead racking up the points in this year's SuperSport Rugby Challenge competition, with an opportunity to add yet more to his tally. The man that went to Shimla's George Whitehead slots the conversion. It's 10 points to 3. Griquas lead.
Brilliant play from Anthony Full Monk.
Watch your cleans. Watch your cleans.
Michael Hasna does well. They've had numbers. They got momentum from that man's break. Kwesi Mona put them on the front foot. Wow, there was no stopping the Griquas, who have now drawn first blood with that try.
Up it goes. Griquas receive. Whitehead. That is an almighty kick from Whitehead. Devin Williams. Whitehead tackled behind his own 10-meter line. Zach Berger. Mona. Oh, to Full Monk. He's been charged down. Hasna's there to collect.
Terug is op. Terug is op.
Berger to Mona. Seeing plenty of ball in the first half from Berger. Whitehead.
3 back.
Devin Williams under a dangerous ball. The experienced Idris Arendse putting severe pressure on the Pumas fullback.
White there, 4, 5.
Captain Ryan Null takes his time. And there's DJ Tablanche, early substitution. That could come back to haunt them, couldn't it, Mtunzi?
Bietjie terug is jy.
He's made a difference though. Good charge down as well coming from him.
And Van Rooyen launches one over the top.
Backwards.
Another one contested by Pumas. It's plain to see they have identified a possibility of advancing via those Gary Owens towards the touchlines. It doesn't seem to matter either left or right. They'll go for it. Full Monk into the line to
Happy
Hasna.
Jerry.
Gideon van der Merwe. He's had to work hard. Pumas players calling for an infringement of sorts. Look how far backwards Griquas have traveled in this
Tackle is
movement.
inside.
Just a couple of mistakes
Inside, George.
taking the momentum away from them. Whitehead.
3 weer. Ek gaan nie weer roep nie, okay?
Oh, that has not been cleanly gathered, and desperation is what was needed from Van Rooyen, and he's provided that in spades to get there. Chris Smith is in support as well. The chip through, he won't be able to chase. One man back for Griquas. He had to do well. William Wilson.
Use!
A call for use comes from Ben Kraus. Sias Kun, who passes it away. Zach Berger. Whitehead in waiting, as he always is. The ever-reliable number 10 for Griquas sends it downfield to Devin Williams, who has something on his mind now. Gently up to the line, and then stepping into action. He sends a difficult pass together to Neil Maritz, but Jandre Rudolph on the outside. Ever industrious is Rudolph. Ripped away by Griquas, but straight into the arms of Rudolph, who's there again. Van Rooyen. Else. Van Rooyen. Smith. Now they move it to Engelbrecht. Out in the back line. Arendse in over the ball, not supporting his own feet. Not for a second. Pumas in control of possession as we approach the final 10 minutes of the first half. A match which is being played with great caution by both of these teams.
Tackle! Too late!
Gideon van der Merwe trying to rip that one away. No such luck. Van Rooyen sends it to Chris Smith. Smith finds a switch play in the form of Ryan Nell. Rainier van Rooyen. Cameron Lindsay takes it to ground. The Griquas defense looking solid all across the field. Chris Smith over the top to Jandre Rudolph. Rudolph with a fine ball on the inside. Look at the speed of Devin Williams. He is blistering.
Devin Williams, he is looking sharper than ever. 6th try of the tournament. Look at Chris Smith, he finds the space out wide with that pass. Look at that, brilliant pass coming in from Rudolph. And the speed from Devin Williams. He just shifts it down a gear, puts on the nos, and he's away. Paul Stubbs, brilliant from the Pumas. What a game we have on our hands.
Explosive stuff from the number 15, Devin Williams. When he was 17 years old, Devin Williams, he ran the 100 in 10.4 and the 200 in 20.8. Right now, Chris Smith is lining up the conversion to draw the game level. A very difficult effort, this. Will it hold its line? Will it move back? It fell short in the end, and it was slightly misdirected. 10 points to 8, the score remains.
Just hooks that a little bit. Brilliant play from Rainier van Rooyen to hold on to that. Great pass, Chris Smith with the vision to find the space outside. But how's that for an underhand pass? Look at the gas. Try time. Devin Williams. Pumas with their first try. Wow.
What about this guy, Mtwenzi? Jandre Rudolph. He just makes it happen. We'll get back to that shortly. George Whitehead launches it to the man in question, Jandre Rudolph. Receiving the kick. Oh, he is afraid of nothing, just charging back into the fray. Rainier van Rooyen sends it back. Chris Smith has dropped it. It should have gone backwards though. Sekekete cannot complete the tackle, and Chris Smith is forced into an enterprising attack. Now sending it wide to Neil Maritz, who often plays on the wing. So he's not short on speed, and he's certainly not short on power. He has a palm to be reckoned with. Rainier van Rooyen. Under the challenge of Griquas players. And a scrum comes the way of Griquas.
White was going forward.
Strong defense coming in from Mikael Hasner. Kwesi Mona asked for a little bit of attention. It has been frantic the past 10 minutes. Both sides starting to have a little more space to work with.
Yeah, but
What an addition to the Griquas squad. Kwesi Mona is coming off the victory with Pumas and with Brent Janssen van Rensburg. There's a wholesale change in Twinsie at Griquas when Janssen van Rensburg came naturally. They needed to build a new team. And with the likes of Michael Hesnar having already come, look, they've bought 7 new backline players and 4 new forwards for 2019. And in spite of that, they have a team which is cohesive. And there we go, the Rugby World Cup, the big show. It's coming in 18-9 days, Twinsie. Are you excited? Do you think the Boks can win?
Definitely. You break it down and you look at the players, player to player. We've got all the players. We've got some players who are considered the best in the world in their position. So what a World Cup we have on our hands. And the Proteas are playing the Pakistan currently in the Cricket World Cup.
We've just had the Women's World Cup where Banyana were featured.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Also, in case you didn't catch it, the pride of the nation, the baby Boks, the under-20s, picked up the 3rd place medal against Argentina in the under-20 championship. Look at this Griquas scrum! It is marching!
Well, Paul Stubbs, you're speaking about Kwesi Mona, what he brings for this side. Struggling now a little bit with his shoulder there, or left bicep. He says, give me a second, I'm all right. Wow, huge scrummage for him. Working very well with AJ Leroux and Eervald van der Westhuizen.
If you give a clear picture, it's easier to read.
Have a very strong scrum, and in a game where the aerial contest will be key, they're looking to take advantage of that knock-on. You have to have a strong scrum, and going the way for the Griquas so far. Pumas not really executing that well with their kicking. Take a look at that. Kwesi Mona keeping his butt. Look at the strength shown, pumping the legs.
So we have a time check, please.
Textbook scrumming. Great work coming from Eervald van der Westhuizen on the other side as well.
George Whitehead about to take this conversion, or rather this penalty attempt, pardon me, from the scrum penalty. We'll take it out to a 5-point game. The kick is up and it is over from George Whitehead. Now, Brent Janssen van Rensburg said he was going to target the physicality of the Mpumalanga Pumas from Twinsie, and scrums like that might just be what he was talking about.
100%. We see Kwesi Mona. Look at that technique. Brilliant. Good pressure coming in from Victor Sekekete and Ian Groenewald, the lock forwards. But that takes all 8 players to be working together cohesively. Brilliant to watch.
It is back on now, thanks to Chris Smith.
Happy.
Possibility of a high tackle there. Nothing more than a mistake and a seatbelt, but it will not even be given. And Zach Berger gives it off to Kwesi Mona. Can't hold on to that.
Yeah, he's got it.
He's got it as the call. Turnover. The Pumas have possession.
Get out one.
Oh, this could be pivotal. Look at the time on the clock right now. That is a massive error that has been committed by Griquas inside their own 22-meter line in the last 5 minutes of the half. The definition of a coach killer. Jandre Rudolph.
Tackle!
Oh, he seems as fit as the first 5 seconds of the match. Reinier van Rooyen really having to work to get that ball out. Left, Chris Smith to Devin Williams, who represents pure danger. Null with the outside ball to Llewellyn Isbell.
Get back here, 4-4.
Try-scoring machine of the Pumas for years now. Bierwinkel has lost control. And after a mistake from Kwesi Mona, Andrew Bierwinkel returns the favor. The 2 number ones with knock-ons that will leave their teams unhappy.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate for Andrew Bierwinkel there. I think Reinier van Rooyen, the scrumming, could have waited a little longer for them to get into their formation. They're seated, patiently awaiting some action. They love their rugby down in Saldanha Bay, all smiles.
And what a day it is. There's Jimmy Stonehouse. And this Jimmy Stonehouse side, Mtunzi. Now, Brent Jansen van Rensburg, in the build-up to the match, he said that 66% of the tries that Pumas score have been scored from the set piece. 76% of tries have been scored from the first 3 phases. So this is a team that relies heavily on structure. And perhaps he's thinking, if you can disrupt that structure, if you can attack their scrum, if you can hurt their line out, if you can make sure they don't score in those first 3 phases, what next for these guys?
No, exactly. We see it coming off well for them at scrum time. The aerial battle, though, is going to be vital. Brent Jansen van Rensburg, also a brilliant tactician. Pumas lineouts, Cameron Lindsay, he's been absolutely unbelievable. And yes, they do look to attack and score tries off of that set piece. They're having troubles at scrum time. So Brent Jansen van Rensburg doing well so far.
Bind! Sit!
Zach Berger to feed the scrum for Griquas inside their own 20-meter line. They'll be desperate to clear their lines in whichever fashion they see fit. It is Whitehead straight to the boot this time. No pressure.
Back, winger,
sending it long for Devin Williams.
Okay, you can go now.
Williams,
you can go. Sorry.
You just saw how very fast this individual is. When he turns on the afterburners, boy, he's hard to catch. That carry on is well measured, and Whitehead under pressure. He takes the hit. That went backwards. Swartz doing very well.
That's backwards, gents.
Berger. Whitehead again. No chances being taken by Griquas. Boots the ball, launch that ball downfield. Let's see what the Pumas can do with it.
Get out, Pink.
Up it goes from Devin Williams. Not a great deal of distance on that. This could be a benefit to Griquas. It is, and it is taken in. And Enver Brandt, the scintillating player, using some of the dancing feet before he gets to the ground. Whitehead, the dummy pass from Swartz. He is so experienced, so balanced, so measured. You can see why Chris Smith is not making this Griquas side. Forward goes Kwesi Mona. Zach Berger, the clock is ticking right now on both of these sides. That's massive.
Well, cheeky. Cornelius Els. That's naughty.
Here you go, number 2.
Unforced, unnecessary, and it's those small moments that let you just let the game slip away. A lapse of concentration for him there. Careless play coming through from him, and Ben Kraus, the referee, in the right place at the right time, rather, as always.
Mtunzi, absolutely any question in your mind over whether this is the right option, taking a kick at posts? It seems like a surefire winner to me.
Brilliant, just as the first half's coming to an end. Zach Berger's done well. Kwesi Mona, how many carries has he had in this game already? Does well, holds on to the ball. Look at that. He's down, he needs to let go of the ball now. He does. Zach Berger does well, look at that. It's cheeky and it's so naughty.
Oh, that is born of frustration. That is frustration itself. Put a picture of that in the dictionary next to the word frustration. And Cornelius Els needs to keep his head. Baby balk in 2014. Captain George Whitehead. The flags are raised by Kwengile Jadesweni and Quinton Emmelman. And that whistle brings a close to the first half of the 2019 SuperSport Rugby Challenge, a match which has been contested tooth and nail so far by two sides passionate to win this title. Griquas here in their third of 3 finals. Pumas here for back-to-back finals. They are the reigning champions and they're going toe-to-toe. Griquas lead by 8 points, 16 points to 8, 1 try apiece.
Fantastic.
Saldanha Bay is awaiting the second half of the SuperSport Rugby Challenge final. The Griquas are leading Pumas by 16 points to 8. They are meeting for the second year running for the big prize in this competition. The people of Saldanha Bay have treated us oh so well. We are blessed to be in your company here today. The stands have been packed since the Saldanha Bay match, which was the opening match for this game, and they have remained here throughout the day. If you are in the region of Gladiator Park, as this stadium is known, Transnet Saldanha Stadium, do come down, because it doesn't end at the end of the rugby. It's a party here in Saldanha Bay.
Right, you guys ready?
And now with an 8-point match, Griquas are going to restart. Remember that last year Pumas came back from a deficit to beat them in the end. After the final hooter with a drop goal. Can Griquas set the record straight this year? 40 minutes remain to decide that. Chris Smith with a colossal kick downfield. Full Monk underneath to receive. Whitehead launches it to one.
Move out, Kwesi.
For Full Monk to chase, and chase it he does underneath it, and he receives it outstandingly. The strength in the air from the number 9, Rainier van Rooyen, wins the ball back for Pumas, immediately turning to the boot. That's Devin Williams. And it rolls into touch just under the eyes of George Whitehead. Perfect work from the try scorer.
That's a brilliant kick from Devon Williams. The wind has started to pick up slightly. Pumas have a bit of an advantage now. But how accurate has George Whitehead's boot been? I just don't know if any Pumas players can deliver a kicking performance like he can, and his up and unders are just pinpoint accurate.
AJ LaRue feeds the contest from Pumas. It may have
Numbers
been
in early.
not straight
In
into the
early
lineup,
before the
but an
lineup
early
started.
jump
Numbers.
is the call from Ben Cross.
It's numbers, and
Number 3 joined
that's
before the ball
Marne
came in.
Kutsia joining
Numbers.
the line before
Scrum
the
option.
ball is thrown in, so it's a numbers
Okay,
short
so
arm.
number 3 was on the receiver position. He came in before the line had left, so that means it's numbers. Before the ball
And the
thrown.
Griquas
So that means, yeah, if someone
choose
falls
to
out, then
take
it's
the
happy, no one
scrum.
fell out.
Not a
Okay.
bad choice. Instead of booting it up and
That was number 3,
chasing,
yeah. He's through it.
they'd rather suck in those Pumas
Sorry, number
forwards.
1.
At least from the scrum, they'd have to run back now. So good strategy coming from the experienced captain, George Whitehead. They've also been doing very well at scrum time. It's been the Kwesi Mona show.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
That one will not be completed. Zach Berger throwing it back to his number 8,
We're
William
gonna shift,
Wilson.
yeah, we'll shift.
So the record holder, DJ de Blanche, is now off. Marne Kutsia comes back. So Andrew Bierwinkel moves to his preferred
Higher and immediate stability. that's
natural position.
Crouch. Crouch. Bind. Sit.
These two hefty packs leaning
Stay in
into
there,
each
stay
other.
in there.
Creek was getting some movement, but it's shifting.
Advantage.
I don't think either can claim victory here, but the penalty will come the way of Griquas, which is a victory of sorts.
Like,
Wide it goes to Brunt.
advantage.
Brunt trying to turn on the afterburners and burn up his opposition. Brunt. He's shed 2. He's well beyond the 10-meter line. Difficult pass for Sias Kun, but he picks it up with ease. And Griquas looking sharp at the start of the second half as well. Kwesi Mona. Is this the more motivated side, having lost out on the title on 2 occasions in the past 2 years? Are Pumas satiated with victory in spite of the fact that they have rotated so much of their squad? Griquas
Leave it.
right now the
Too
hungry.
late.
Kwesi Mona carrying it in again. Controlled possession from Griquas. Not rushing anything. Whitehead. Oh, the commentator's curse hits them, and Wilson gets it off to Jandre Rudolph. Jandre Rudolph puts it down, picks it up. He just keeps going, Mr. Rudolph.
No
But the
advantage.
pass is astray. No advantage from the knock.
Unlucky for the Pumas. Very good reaction speed coming in from Jandre Rudolph.
There was a play over the ball before you. Excuse me?
Unfortunately, Stefan Willemse doesn't get the pass out to the speedster, Devon Williams.
I think they dominated.
That would have been good to see him right up against the touchline.
I'll have a look on this side now.
Good pass.
I'll have a look. Let's go.
Uncharacteristic
Let's go.
mistake coming from William Wilson. Was involved with the Blitzbokker at a stage.
And no pre-engage you two, okay? 6 shoulders, please. 6 shoulders.
6 out of 6 scrums for the Griquas, 1 out of 2 for the Pumas.
Crouch.
50% success rate. Will they get it right this time?
Bind. Sit.
Rainier van Rooyen to feed the scrum for Pumas. Out it comes, Chris Smith. Nel is skipped out, and instead it goes to Neil Maritz, so impactful against Boerland in the semi-final. He's been shut down in this match as both sides have struggled to get the ball wide. Finding a way through the center, Stefan Willemse. Oh, now using a bit of dexterity is Chris Smith. He makes some space on the outside.
Step back here, Quizzy.
Will be required
No.
to find the chinks in the armor of this Griquas side. Down they go, Rainier van Rooyen. Pumas since 2013, over 6 years of service, the number 9, Ryan Nel, their captain. Sekekete getting involved with the tackle. Van Rooyen. Devin Williams always looks to be weighing things up in his mind. He spent some time at Western Province, the Devin Williams. It didn't work out for him. He found a new home here at Mpumalanga Pumas, and he says that he's loving life.
How brilliant is that?
Set him going to the back.
Great execution. Saw a bit of green in the background. Finds the grass.
Numbers.
It's a great grubber kick coming from him.
What's
They
your
took
numbers?
the ball up a couple of phases. They weren't really getting over the advantage line. It draw the wingers in.
3 step.
And that's
Three
good
back.
play from the Pumas fullback.
Okay, he's out. Let's play.
Greek was claiming that line out.
Get back.
Ian Groenewald. 3 years at Monty's between 14 and 2017.
Use it 9.
Unfortunately for him, those were the trophyless years. Berger, they play blind to Brunt, who has a lot of work to do to get beyond these players. He drops it back inside. Ambitious
Okay,
stuff from the
touch
Greek was on that occasion. Mtunzi, not a lot of space to work with, but they do have a magician on the
Sadie,
outside.
Sadie.
Exactly,
Sorry,
Paul. Taken too quickly. They're not from the right mark. And you're right. As the game starts
two on
to
the side.
unfold, the
Two on
players
the
will be
side.
more and more tempted to do something creative, to do
Come up,
something
please.
outside of the
Which
structures
numbers?
that they're
Which
used to. We saw at that time. It looked like
Pumas
Brandt
number
was
7, please,
standing
sub.
readily
Pumas
for
7.
the up and under kick coming
Pumas
from
7,
Zach
yes.
Berger. Instead of
Johnny,
doing that,
just keep him
he had a
just
little
hold
go,
on.
and now that's forced the turnover.
Easy.
Pumzile, Matbondwan are coming from the field. And Hermanus Karel
stay that
Dupree
Time back on.
replaces him, SA7's academy player. Matbondwana was in the Varsity Cup Dream Team back in 2017. Pumas take it down off the
Ball
top.
form.
Stefan Willemse.
Going
This rolling
sideways.
ball is set up like a dream. Can they get it moving forward, though, is the question. Pumas taking their time.
No. Shifting binds.
The Pumas
Shifting bind and sliding. Number 1.
now playing under an advantage. They are wrapping around the side of that ball, infringing. And Ben Kraus now extends his arm in the direction of Pumas. This is a crunch moment. There's Kwesi Mona,
Shifting
appears to
bind,
be the
sliding
culprit on
the
this
side.
occasion.
Number 1.
Mtunzi, it's a big call for Pumas here. How do you approach it with an 8-point gap?
Be interesting to see what they go for. Chris Smith says let's go for touch. They do have a very powerful rolling maul. Kwesi Mona gives away the penalty that time, and that's why you don't want to give away possession. It's all about the inches.
What's the numbers?
As Al Pacino says in
6
any given Sunday, it's a Sunday today. Pumas do so well to keep
AJ,
it
are
in
you
their
now?
patience,
AJ,
keeping to
AJ,
their
thank
structure,
you.
keeping their shape. Brilliant from the Pumas. Look to do it again now.
Mold
Ready to fight for that inch are the Mpumalanga Pumas. Ready to claw with their fingernails, and can they get this rolling maul moving forward? It's going sideways. Griquas are putting pressure. Can they evade
that's
that
from
first
9-9.
push? Happy with everything there, Ben Kraus. And the Pumas have failed again to implement their rolling maul. This is massive. This is massive, Mtunzi. The physical game that Brent Jansen van Rensburg said he wanted to stop from the Mpumalanga Pumas, he's attacked them at the scrum, and now he's attacking them at their line-out drive.
Left.
Yeah, that's huge work from the Griquas tight 5.
Anything behind my back there. Let's go.
Pumas took it in well. It looked like it was well set up, but the
Let's
Griquas
go.
players were able to push through and divide them, get into the way. I believe that there was Gideon van der Merwe and William Wilson. brilliant defensive play. That's how you defend a maul. The Pumas' opportunity disseminates. The Griquas look for an exit now.
Nice ankles, yeah. Crouch! Bind! Sit! Up, up, up! Play both
Zachberger
teams.
feeds
Use
the
it.
scrum.
Play fast, play fast,
It's gone
play
down
fast.
in the front, which creates some stability for Griquas to be able to clear. Andre Swartz, just over 90 kilograms, happy to take crash ball.
Terug jy.
Boys, you know what to do.
Berger to Mona. It seems that he is the very center of the game plan today for Griquas, the ex-employee of Pumas just last year. Forward it goes from Whitehead.
Get back, get back!
Hanging up. This will stay in field
Thank
and
you.
present an opportunity. Morne Hubert sends it infield. And the hefty number 8, Willie Engelbrecht,
Happy
is on
thank
the
you.
attack. Rainier van Rooyen Smith to Nel. Nel saw something. Michael Hasna was there for it. Swartz is sharp to the interception. Can they keep it alive with full monk? Back inside. Everybody's struggling to bring it under their control.
Terug hier so.
But Griquas do manage to consolidate in the end. Van der Westhuizen. Berger, Whitehead, Swartz, Sias Kuhn on the outside.
Leave
That
it
is an
first.
effective hit from Jandre Rudolph. Wow, he is putting his hand up for the best player in the match, let alone Pumas team. Mona, that's the other candidate for player of the match thus far. The big number 1 from Griqualand West. And wide it goes from Swartz. Here's Enver Brandt. Missed out on last year's final after scoring 11 tries in the competition. The number 1 try scorer in
First
2018.
Get out. Leave it on the
Is it a
deck,
turn
leave it on the
here?
deck.
Leave it on the deck is the call from Mr. Kraus.
Step here.
Slowly as it comes, turnover ball. Engelbrecht. And it's Stefan Willems who sends it back. Williams to Nel, and the pressure out in the midfield by Hasna. Hasna knows Chris Smith well, and he has hunted him.
Stay still.
Griquas try to attack the breakdown. They cannot secure the turnover. What a turn of pace from Carl Duplessis. Carl Dupré. That was too easy to go to the Duplessis on that occasion. And the pop off the ground is an excellent one from Lindsay. Keeping it alive was Rainier van Rooyen. The attempted chip over the top from Chris Smith falls to Michael Hasna. Who's starting to take control of this game in his own right. That's greedy from Rainier van Rooyen. He's lost his head. He's come around the side. He thought the ball was out. But with an 8-point gap between the sides and this match being played on such a knife's edge, Mtunzi,
9, you
could that
started from
prove
offside position. You
extremely
started
costly?
from offside position. Get back on. Thank you.
The game's starting to open up now. See the Pumas spreading it out wide, keeping ball in hand, not kicking as much. See the Griquas not getting as much distance as they were in the first half off of the George Whitehead boot.
George Whitehead seeks touch, and a touch he finds. Oh, just about 7 meters out from the Pumas line.
That's brilliant. Now he's not on sides first. The ball is out, but he has to be on sides. And Rainier van Rooyen just gets ahead of himself, not keeping a cool head there.
Crunch time for both sides, right here, right now. In it comes from AJ Leroux. Sekekete rises high to receive. The Griquas just thwarted the advances of the Pumas rolling maul.
Keep it
Can
up,
they
keep it
slap
up.
them in the face here and
Static
score
ones.
one of their own? Rolling around the left side now. Is there any forward momentum left for this Griquas pack? Yes, there is, and they're moving now. Watch out! They're coming for the line! Captain Sias Kuhn! He scores another try for Griquas. It's 21 points to 8 before the kick.
Wow, AJ Leroux throws it in beautifully, taken so well from Victor Sekekete. They take their time setting it up. The Pumas are trying to push them back. The Griquas are patient. They keep to their structure. They keep their body shape. Look at AJ Leroux, patient as you like, waits for the support from Sekekete and gets over the white line. Brilliant team try, brilliant forward try. AJ Leroux, that's great for the Griquas.
Oh, this is exhilarating rugby in the final. Highly accurate, controlled, and these points are being scored. Each one of them are extremely valuable. 21 points to 8 now. This is a crucial kick.
How brilliant was George Whitehead's kick to touch now against the wind.
Those small moments of Tunzi and finals.
Oh, exactly. Such an asset to this Griquas side.
George Whitehead for the extra points. The referees, Quentin Emmelman and Sid Gwengile Jadizweni, watch it drift away, so no extra points for Griquas.
They peeled off, and it's so hard to keep in shape when you do that, but they do. The Pumas push away. AJ LaRue finishes off. He threw in that line out, and he finished off a great set-piece try.
Chris Smith to get us restarted. And it's time for the Pumas to catch a wake up. They're trailing by 13 points. 2 converted tries would give them victory by just the 1 point. And how cruel would that be if that were to be the scenario which played out now? The Griquas going into the final moments of last year's final with a lead in their hands when the Pumas struck back with a try in the corner to give them one last chance. And then a drop goal from Justin Van Staden and secured the victory. Griquas now clearing their lines. Devin Williams on a switch play with Engelbrecht. Oh my goodness, that is a collision point. And Rainier van Rooyen, the urgency in the Pumas team, self-evident. Bierwinkel. And now Marne Coetzee, intent in every run, in every step from the players in grey and pink. Looking for a pop ball to Andrew Bierwinkel. Rainier van Rooyen. Engelbrecht, Chris Smith. Sias Kun makes the tackle. That offload is completely out of this world to Henke Marais, and Marais somehow is still going.
Leave it! Not on the ball, leave it!
They do not lack in spirit to Pumas. Griquas are all over this ball. No turnover. Here's Bierwinkel to the trailing line. That pass was forced from Devin Williams, and there's been an enormous collision between two players.
Safety first, yeah.
Could have been left prone on the floor. Ryan Nell, the captain, one of them, and Tunzi.
And you just see the referee stopping play. Ben Krause, safety first. Just a little bit of a mix-up. See that clash. Hopefully the big men are okay. Ederisa Arendse, highly experienced winger for the Griquas. Done very well in that first half under the high ball, giving the Pumas very little to work with.
And there's Ryan Nell, captain of Pumas. Now, Mtunzi, it would appear that Pumas have abandoned the tactic which they had in the first half of chipping over the top and looking for the touchlines with Gary Owens, which didn't make much sense to me because Griquas, they're equipped on the outside with two wingers the likes of Enver Brandt and Idris Arendse and Anthony Volkman, who are all outstanding under the high ball. What do you think the logic behind that was?
No, exactly. I think it was always going to be an aerial contest. It's a strategy that most coaches use when playing in a final. And it was just brilliant to see Griquas, how they strategically handle that, use George Whitehead's boot, which is just always going to be more accurate than Devin Williams and Christopher Smith. They've done well. Stefan Willemse comes off.
And as a man that's made his way onto the field that you know by name, Mr. Mabeta.
Welcome both of you. Please take control. Nice.
He is a big man, he is large and in charge, and he was once one of the greatest prospects in South African rugby. Had such a brilliant youth career, and he has continued to play in South African rugby all across the country.
Crouch!
But before we introduce the man in question, let's see them picked on the scrum. Griquas. It's pivotal they get this right. Can Pumas with their changes make some impact at scrum time? Oh yes they can! Oh yes they can!
No.
Which way is this going?
No. Get off. Just say again, Q. Okay, so listen up. One of you went in and one of you went up. So both of you were at fault. So that's why we're resetting.
Great
okay?
shake and
What we
shove
can
coming
was
from the
both of you guys
Pumas.
Go for legal scrum.
Definitely
Okay,
the
I'm gonna
fresh
stand on the side and
legs
fix it.
making themselves felt. Saw Marco Janse van Rensburg hitting the ground there. They thought they might have actually forced a tight head.
Like a footer clutch.
Getting ready for another scrum. Ben Krause has asked them to pack down again.
We committed both of you to a square angle, okay? Thanks. Thank you.
Hilton Lobbett and Marco
Crouch.
Palvi now the new locks.
Bind. Sit. Elbows. Bind up.
Zach Berger feeds the scrum, and the Pumas try to get the same thing happening again. Griquas hold strong. Whitehead sends it to full. Monk to Hasnar. Marked up, and Ryan Nell executes a fine tackle on a drifting Hasnar. Gideon van der Merwe. I cannot say enough good things about this individual. Plays seven-a-side rugby as well at that size.
Okay, now it's the arm.
He's a
slowing it down.
proficient athlete. Kwesi Mona, tireless against his former teammates. Hasnar takes it to the line, sends it wide. They were playing under a penalty advantage.
Not rolling. Arm on the ball.
Falling over the ball, not rolling away. Jandre Rudolph. Brilliant number 6. Unfortunately, the penalty count now just getting a little bit out of hand for the Pumas. It's starting to slip away now. They need to get that discipline back.
There's evidence of what you're saying, Mr. Mabeta. 6 penalties to 3. The Pumas are letting them slip away from them. The Griquas are highly motivated.
Does well to have a go, but his weight is totally unsupported there. And silly penalty to give away, but there he is, Hilton Lobbett. I've played with him before. One of the hardest men in South African rugby. The likes of Corne Kricha will tell you that much.
Hilton Lobbett, the talk of the town as a youth player, went to the Bulls where Mtunzi Mabeta crossed paths with the individual in that great era of Bulls rugby. Look at this rolling maul from Griquas. They got some confidence from their first, and they've lost their feast on the second. No, it is an advantage, a penalty advantage to Griquas. Which means that this will be a sustained attack. The time on the clock reached 60 minutes. We're in the final quarter of the match, and the Griquas continue to control the proceedings. With brief intermittents. Stanzas from Pumas, which has seen them score just the 8 points. It's 21 points to 8 now. And the Griquas have 2 shots at scoring a try here. Sias Kun.
Tackle now.
Zach Berger is waiting for his options to present themselves. Ian Groenewald was signed from Verona in Italy.
9, do you want the advantage? Zoek jullie die voordeel.
Slowly as she goes, that'll do just fine for Griquas. You saw Zach Berger walking away nonchalantly.
Wait, yeah.
The clock is on their side.
Yeah, do you want it or not?
Kwesi Mona. Once again, it's him. He knows what these guys are all about, and he runs it into them whenever he gets the chance.
No advantage, that was 5
Uncharacteristic knock-on from George Whitehead, captain of this Griquas side, who might just have a shot at goals.
Thanks. 5 collapsing the maul.
So it's collapsing the maul as discipline slips away even further for the Pumas. George Whitehead making them pay with that golden boot of his.
And he boots it into the corner rather than to the posts. Tries are what this Griquas side want. They want to bury this Pumas team.
What's the numbers?
Huge work coming from the Griquas locks. Sekekete and Groenewald.
In it comes. That's gone offline. Oh, and Gideon van der Merwe cleans it up, but it is not straight feed into the line-out, and that has got to be frustrating for Kwesi Mkafu, part of the side that lost the final last year.
It almost seems like they just get it wrong. Communication not coming right between Victor Sekekete and the substitute Kwesi Mkafu now. Possession still going the way of the Griquas. They are controlling this game. Territory though, Pumas playing in the right areas, but just giving away silly penalties.
Coach! Bind. Sit.
To run the ball from here would be a brave endeavor. One has to feel that the Pumas will first clear their lines, but they're operating in the last 18, coming on 17 minutes of this match.
Shift over.
So as the clock ticks away on them, Tunzi, it is certainly time to score tries now. There's no more time to be kicking for posts. They need to start playing a completely different brand.
This game is about to get very interesting now.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Take a look at those numbers. I'll ask my expert commentator about them shortly, should we get the chance. Rainier van der Rooyen. They send it out to Devin Williams, and Williams is the man for the clearing kick, and it is an effective clearing kick up to the 10-meter line of Pumas rather.
Carried nicely for Devin Williams. Brilliant kick under immense pressure. The Griquas looking to launch another attack from this line out. It's gone well for them. But AJ LaRue is off. Kwesi Mkafu is now on.
Mkafu under pressure after the last feed. In it comes. That's not straight. That's not straight. Kwesi Mkafu. He's not helping his team out too much with these line-out throws. Top quality player, I can tell you that as a guarantee.
No, definitely. I'm not sure if I'll blame him for this. You just look at how the line is closed by the Griquas props there. Kwesi Mona and Ewald van der Westhuizen and just not opening up the line. Kekete should be doing that for his side, putting less pressure on Kwesi Mkafu.
Interesting fact on Kwesi Mkafu. He played for an SA Presidents 15 in 2013, and that team was coached by Jimmy Stonehouse.
Yeah, the history is just so juicy, Paul, between these two sides, the players, the coaches.
Crouch.
Brilliant storyline.
Bind. Sit.
Rainier van der Rooyen to feed just behind the 10-meter line of Pumas. Do they dare to run the ball from this deep? Chris Smith is taking it to the line. It would appear the answer is yes. Into the fray is the fearless Henku Maree. Hilton Loberts that time. Taking it to the deck. Engelbrecht backs himself to carry players forward. Griquas feel like they have some players over the ball. Rainier van der Rooyen pulls off a dream pass while stumbling backwards. No. It's been monstered by Sias Kun, one of the hardest working players on the field today. Loberts into the fray. Rainier van der Rooyen and the offload from Janse van Rensburg. Pumas looking positive. They need to be 100% accurate right now. It appears that Kwesi Mkafu is down on the ground. Just pulling that back under his grasp is Morne Hubert. Hubert now taking on a number. Oh, Morne's been left in his wake. Loberts wants to straighten up. Oh, that's what he knows how to do better than many others. Straight into the contact, Marco Janse van Rensburg. Henku Maree. Now Rainier van der Rooyen just outside the 22-meter line of Griquas now, so positive stuff for Pumas to see that they can make that much movement in just 9 phases. Bierwinkel, now there's a chance on the outside. Smith is taking it to the line. The inside ball is for Devin Williams! He is shining here today, Devin Williams. And the Pumas give themselves a lifeline.
So good to see Devin Williams patiently supporting on the inside. He just waited for him. This is when the Pumas are dangerous, when they're playing with those forward pods. Chris Smith drifts well, patiently draws the man and passes it on the inside to the speedster Williams. Great Pumas try on the 10th phase. That's how dangerous they can be when they just keep the ball in hand.
Let's remind you that they took it through multiple phases after the 80th minute last year in order to win this title. They know how to hold on. They know what control means. They know the gaps will start to come if they remain consistent. And they've proven that to be the case here this afternoon. 21 points to 13 in Tunzi. Now, if this kick goes over, that takes it to a 6-point game. Butterflies will be going around in the stomachs of these Griquas players and the management. Especially considering what happened last year. This is Chris Smith. pivotal kick to put the game on the line. Take a look at the flags. The flags remain down. That is massive. And you could see the frustration on the face of Devin Williams.
Yep, they know how important that could be. Bierwinkel passes it to Christmas. We've seen them do that often. Had the patience to pop it on the inside for Devin Williams, who runs a great supporting line. How important will that kick be? We always knew the last 10 minutes of this match, if last year's final is anything to go by, is going to be absolutely scintillating.
Okay, let's go, George.
Whitehead gets it restarted. There is a good chase on from Griquas, but it is received from Pumas. They trail by 8 points. There are less than 12 minutes to play. Not a problem for Pumas. All they need to do is score before the 79th minute and 59 seconds in order to ensure they have one last chance to come at Griquas again. And they could just put on a repeat of last year's final here. Fulmonk now taking it back at them. High-class rugby player, Fulmonk, and he's been that throughout his career. Burger. Eerwald van der Westhuizen.
Leave it, too late!
Leave it is the call from referee Kraus. He wants those Pumas players to remove their hands. Zach Berger waits for them to do just that before feeding it to his backline. Kun to Whitehead to Swartz, who continues to put in another excellent performance, as he always does in the Griquas jersey. Kun. Van der Westhuizen. Zach Berger, Fulmonk stretching out a cramp in the background. This match is taking it all out of these players. Gideon van der Merwe, don't let him get on the run. He will tear you to pieces. He's so fit, is Gideon van der Merwe. Here's Michael Hasnar. Oh, Idris Arendse with a little help. That is what friends are for. Driving you back in field, keeping the play alive. 7+ phases now, and Griquas are taking time off the clock. This is time that the Pumas cannot have the ball in their hands. Kick to the outside from Whitehead. It shouldn't stay in field. It will not.
Yeah, we're going to go for the knock because you've got a dominant scrum. I'm aware of that.
Well, it's all about the inches, and that could have been intercepted. The Kwesi-Mona pass, but
Time is up.
unfortunately it doesn't go to hand for the Pumas, and the Griquas will take a sigh of relief, and they will take their time coming up to this scrum now. AJ LaRue seems to be back on the pitch. I hope Kwesi Mkafu's okay.
Tunzi, they're feeling it out there, and now this is the perfect time because you know what this feels like. You're a professional yourself. As a matter of fact, you played in this very tournament, or at least the previous rendition of this tournament, which is called the Vodacom Cup. And tell us about that experience and what kind of experiences you had insofar as success.
This is the time where you just want to focus on your job, make the ruck, place the ball correctly, support. Ederisa Arendse supporting the man, keeping him in field is exactly what you need. They're sitting and waiting patiently, but things are about to get heated on the pitch. It's been brilliant rugby, structured. They've kept it tight. They've scored a couple of tries, but it's finals rugby. We won't see as many tries as these teams have scored throughout the season. Griquas have been brilliant. Can they hold on though? It's heartbreak time now for them. This time last year, the last 10 minutes were difficult. They were leading by 8 points. To let it go in the final 80th minute. This is what we all wait for, Paul Stubbs, the last 10 minutes of a final.
It is on the line, Tunzi.
Bind. Sit.
How dearly would the Pumas have loved for that kick from Chris Smith to go over the bar?
Stay in fight, stay in the
which would
fight.
mean it would be a 6-point game right now. As it stands, it's an 8-pointer, and the Pumas cannot afford to have the Griquas score again. That's the end of the story. It must be the Pumas that score next. Hasnar steps into the halfback. Kun. Sekekete taking the time at each and every ruck of the Griquas. That is their right, and that is the right thing to do. Whitehead has not. Oh, what a steal!
Hilton Roberts, take a bow.
Well,
Bonnie's
that's
entry.
what being a Bok does for you. That kind of training. 4 caps to his name, Milton Lobbits, and the Pumas have been re-inspired. To the outside. Now Chris Smith. The pop is very nice to Davids. He leaves it lying on the inside. Sekekete. It's still play on. Lobbits handled it. And out it goes. The Pumas need to keep their heads. Marco Palvi. Ryan Null. Oh, he's taken care of Hasnar. Now hard to the line, Marco Palvi. There's been some impact from the bench from these Pumas players, and they're turning this match around somewhat. These are the pivotal moments. Oh, a penalty advantage. These are the pivotal moments.
You've got that advantage.
Davids. Chris Smith now weighing up his options. He put through a little grubber kick. Who's going to get there first? Engelbrecht. Oh! Oh my goodness! You won't see a lot of things like that in life.
Wow.
That is crunchy.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I hope you're all right, son. I do hope everything's all right. Let's have a look at the replay. Let's see if everything was clean.
Okay.
What exactly happened there, Mtunzi?
Wow, Willie Engelbrecht didn't even want to go for that 50-50 ball. I thought he would have tried to catch that. He had one thing on his mind. Smash, smash, smash.
I don't clearly see that he had the ball. Yeah, I have no clear picture of this, so I'm going back for a penalty. But I first want to check that tackle or possible tackle. Yeah. Did you see? You got anything else?
Mtunzi, this is bad news. A penalty advantage is being played.
Okay.
Oh man, this will be a coach killer.
Joey,
Yes.
I'm going to come up to you. Basically, all we had is the on-field. Player did not have the ball and it was tackled. So I'm going to go for a penalty unless you can advise that wasn't clear, that he probably had the ball.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now this is going to be interesting. Zach Berger is nowhere near the ball, and this might be a penalty turned away now to the likes of Griquas. Wow, it's a huge hit.
Oh, this is a big hit. Now, it is an illegal hit, and it's unfortunate. Listen, Engelbrecht, he thought that Zach Berger was about to catch that ball. The timing was wrong. It's not like it's an irresponsible act.
Ben,
Yeah, Joey.
number 8 of Pumas anticipated 9 had the ball, but he never had the ball, so he was played without the ball.
Okay, so the fact is he did not have the ball. He was the number 9 was tackled without the ball.
Correct.
So I can reverse my on-field decision and go for penalty here for Griquas.
Correct.
Okay. Ryan. Captain. So what happened was he anticipated that he had the ball. He did not have it yet. So the fact is he was tackled without the ball. We're going to go for penalty, nothing more than a penalty.
And he knows how important that is, Willie Engelbrecht. Wow, Zach Berger taking a hit that big.
Tackle
Get
without
back
the
on
ball.
your feet. He's been brilliant, the number 9 for Griquas, Zach Berger. It was a textbook tackle from Willie Engelbrecht, but an illegal one because Zach Berger did not have the ball. And wow, what a turn of events. Discipline has let down this Pumas side.
Now, Mtunzi, am I wrong in saying that the whole final could hinge on that moment right there?
100%. And those are the moments you want to be focused there. Oh, wow. Margins, inches, Paul Stubbs. That's what it comes down to. Pumas had an opportunity to get some points on the board. Would have changed this game. Griquas get out of jail.
Lobbits jumps across the line. And it's Johan
Ball is
Momsen, hero of
Static
Marty's
ones.
Rugby, captain of Marty's this year when they won a
Keep it up there, keep it
back-to-back
up.
varsity cup title. The rolling maul again, looking more organized on the Griquas side. They've clearly focused
Same
on this
maul.
area of the game. They nullified the Pumas rolling maul, and now look at theirs once more marching forward.
Bonnie side entry.
Offsides, yes, they've come in from the side. The Griquas are punishing them with this set play. And that is an aggressive run down the touchline. Gideon van der Merwe, he's getting involved as well.
Get back.
Benji Morna is there to receive naturally. He has carried so much ball here today. Berger. Field position perfect for Griquas. Whoa, a cross kick from Whitehead. Aaron says for this. And Devin Williams is in position.
No clear advantage. We're going back.
That's what George Whitehead can bring to your side. Going for that 50-50 try in the corner, pin accurate kicking. You had the advantage to play with. That just keeps the clock
Side
ticking.
entry.
Good play from the flyer for Griquas.
And the clock is certainly ticking now, isn't it, Mtunzi? As we are beyond 7 minutes remaining, heading towards the final 6 minutes of the 2019 SuperSport Rugby Challenge Final. These Griquas players that have seen so much, especially that one on your screen right now, who has been to every final that they have lost. All 3 SuperSport Rugby Challenge Finals. And George Whitehead has been there to contest them. Is this the charm the 3rd time?
Well, we're at that magical time of a final when anything can happen.
Smash!
Jody, front yours.
And it might just happen here. Back onto the field is AJ LaRue, rolling subs in SuperSport Rugby Challenge. In case you're wondering how that happened, the contestant at the front, Sekageta, couldn't get it. It's still in the hands of Griquas. Over the line for the try! Oh, that's it! It's in the bag now of Tunzi! Are they the champions? Are we looking at the new champions?
Gideon van der Merwe, he's been a workhorse for them. They've kept their shape at ruck time, they've kept a cool head, they've been in the right positions at the right time, and Hilton Lobbits gets up, brilliant compete, unfortunately unable to grab onto that. It goes the way of the Griquas, they react so quickly to each other and keep them all going forward. It's a great finish coming in from Gideon van der Merwe. Wow, the forward pack of the Griquas has just created a perfect platform for George Whitehead.
Twinsie. Drama still to be had here.
Joey,
Ben Kraus has just blown the whistle twice. Is there a knock on here potentially?
The decision is a try, but we suspect there was obstruction in the lead up to that try. Can you please check and advise if otherwise, please?
Is that a potential track and trailer they're looking for there, Mtunzi? Because Gideon van der Merwe caught the ball there in the midst of the melee. Maybe he ran into one of his own Griquas players.
I think Victor Sekageta, the number 5 for Griquas, is who to look at now. Interesting times, Paul Stubbs. Interesting call here.
That was the kind of rolling maul they wanted to set up. However, because of the juggle...
Yes, Joey.
I can confirm that the ball carrier ran into one of his own teammates, number 5, and that player stayed in that position until the ball carrier grounded the ball.
Okay, so Joey, what you're telling me, there was obstruction. There was indeed obstruction. So I'm going to go back for the initial knock-on from the player in the line-out from pink and scrum to white.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. That's no try that was obstructed, but we're going to go back. No advantage for the knock-on in the line-out.
Wow, well, the referee Ben Kraus and the TMO Joey Cluster Salmons, brilliant. They are experienced. They don't let anything go under their eye unnoticed.
Let's go.
And I think they are rightfully calling back that try and giving the Griquas the scrum.
What's going through that man's mind right now? He thought maybe he thought it was in the bag. Maybe he thought that try counted and that they just won the match. But still, if he was score now, this match will be back on the line.
You just never know, Paul. These are the moments where it's so difficult to keep your focus.
Bind! Sit! White.
Scrum is set 5 meters out from the line. Zach Berger feeds the Puma. Scrum is rising, but it is stopped by Griquas eventually. Berger plays it blind. Whitehead sends it left. What a try in the corner. The Griquas do it again. Oh, now you know what's going through his mind. And it's the man off the bench. It's Edwin Cater who scores for Griquas.
It's a good scrum, solid scrum. Great hands from George Whitehead. He's been brilliant. What a finish from Cater, though.
Well, they're not going to be taking that one away, are they, Mtunzi? George Whitehead feeding on the outside. Edwin Cater taking the honours.
Thank you. So 5 seconds were here.
And George Whitehead now needs to line up this kick. And I know I am belaboring the point, but keep in mind that this man has been to all of the finals. He's lost 2 in a row, and this is his 3rd.
I believe if he gets this kick, he will become the top point scorer of the competition this year as well. Look at those stats, brilliant, 93 tournament points. George Whitehead to add to that now with this conversion. Hopefully.
Whitehead, he puts it up. Oh, it's his day. It is his day, and boy, does he deserve it.
It's just brilliant. His boot has been brilliant, but look at those skills to put away Kader. Really squeeze out the space down in the corner. They've worked so well off of the scrum. Ewald van der Vestes and AJ Leroux and Kwesi Mona. Great work for them. They've dominated. They've taken on this Pumas tight 5 and 8 so well.
Momsen is on the receiving end for Griquas. He evades the tacklers and he's beyond them towards the 10-meter line. The final 2 minutes of the match, the Griquas know they have it in the bag. Tough one for the Pumas. They have a winning streak which stretches back to 2017. The last time they lost a match in the SuperSport Rugby Challenge was against the Lions in the quarterfinals of the first playing of this tournament.
Stay back, Hilton.
Now Zach Berger.
Right, use it.
Biding his time, letting that clock tick away. Kwesi Mona. Who else? He carries it forward again, the ex-Pumas man.
Right, use it.
Brilliant, and what he does so well is he doesn't look to get over the advantage line all the time, but just place the ball well, get it recycled.
Just work up.
He's done that magnificently, Kwesi Mona.
And the way that the Griquas team is behaving right now tells you what a well-coached side they are. They're shutting this match down. Zach Berger manages to get that away in spite of the ferocious counter-rack that was delivered by DJ Terblanche. Now the most kept front ranker in the history of South African first-class rugby. 1 minute to play.
Can we get a time check, please?
It's just a countdown. George. If you're from Kimberley, get ready to jump off your couch and scream with glee, because the Griquas are about to lift the SuperSport Rugby Challenge trophy in a few mere moments. They just have to count out the clock here, and they are doing that very effectively. They're giving the Pumas no hope. There's no air at anyone.
Available, use it.
They've won every single micro battle out there, Paul Stubbs.
And for these 10 phases, remember that last year the Pumas took the multiple phases to snatch the title away from them. So perhaps this is sweet revenge, making them watch, making them tackle each and every time.
Use.
Zach Berger off to Sias Kun.
10 seconds. Use it.
Berger, Momsen.
Step back, step back.
5 seconds to play now. They've done the job, Griquas.
Use it.
Surely the next one will be the end. Sias Kun once more. Stalwart, a servant to this union since 2016. It's all over now. Zach Berger kicks the ball into touch. And the Griquas are the champions of the 2019 SuperSport Rugby Challenge. Congratulations to you in Kimberley. Enjoy yourselves tonight.
Yo, how brilliant is that, man? Third time lucky, bro. And George Whitehead, bro. How awesome is that for that guy?
And the Griquas are celebrating. There's Sekekete, Kwesi Mona, heroes, the lot of them, Mtunzi. Each and every one.
They focused on what they needed to do. They kept him out the game. Cameron Lindsay dominated at line-out time the entire season. Victor Sekekete, AJ Leroux, they did so well at line-out time. Everyone did their job. They did the small things right. They won the micro battles. What a piece of play. What a performance from this Griquas side.
And as the hands are shaken, sweet relief for these Griquas players, surely. Not all of them have been there for the multiple failures. Not all of them were there last year. There's been wholesale change that came in with the new coach, Janse van Rensburg, who now has won back-to-back SuperSport Rugby Challenge titles with 2 different sides, a record which is unlikely to be broken in the near future, one would have to say. The Griquas stood up in a big way here in Twinsie under masses of pressure. We asked the question, did they have the more motivation, having lost 2 finals when the Pumas came and they are unbeaten? Maybe there was more pressure with that unbeaten record to maintain it. But the Griquas displayed more urgency.
They did. I think they also tactically, strategically, they kept to their strengths. And unfortunately, the Pumas took them on in the wrong areas. Maybe shouldn't have kicked the ball up at the beginning of the game so much. George Whitehead was just dominating with his boot and gave them an early lead. They worked off of that lead, controlled the game, squeezed out the win. And Pumas' discipline just let them down.
And Whitehead is the hero of the day. DJ to Blanche, however, do not forget that this player broke the record for the most capped front ranker in the history of South African rugby. And look at that glorious shot of the Transnet Saldanha Stadium, our hosts this afternoon, bringing a close to the SuperSport Rugby Challenge Final of 2019. The Griquas are your champions, 28-13.
Fantastic.
Well, with that being said, we are downstairs for the post-match presentation. Before we go anywhere, I'd like to introduce our dignitaries who join us. We've got the Pumas president, who is Andries Visser. We've got the Griquas president, who is Yanni Lowe. We've got our minister, Andrew Marais, who is the MEC of Sports in the Western Cape. And then we've got Francois Davids as well, who's the South African Rugby Union Deputy President. And then we've got Joe Heshu, who is the Corporate Affairs Executive down at the Multi-Choice Group. Now, before we get going with any of the proceedings, good afternoon and welcome to our dignitaries. But let's first start off by noticing the most important people in this fixture, who are our four officials for the game. Ben Krause, who had the whistle in hand, Twengile Jatezweni, Quinton Immelman, our two assistant referees, and then our third match official, Mr. Joey Gloucester Solomons. The three of them, or the four of them rather, they'll pick up their medals.
Oh, a bunch of highly experienced referees there. The two Somerset West gentlemen, Quinton Immelman and Kwengile Jadizweni. Joey Gloucester Solomons, high quality TMO as we have all across this country, Mtunzi.
Yeah, he had some big calls to make, and I think he got them spot on like he has all season. It's been brilliant for the referees. They've really done well in the SuperSport Rugby Challenge.
Well done to all the referees. Let's go back to Sam Ludidi.
With that being said, we're going to call on our runners-up to come receive their silver medals, the Pumas, and they're going to get their medals handed over by Mrs. Andrew Marais.
Oh, these guys are all champions in their own way. So many of them heroes from last year when they lifted the trophy. This guy's been he was a Tux for an age, was Andrew Bierwinkel. 2013 to 2017, and he lifted the Varsity Cup trophy when he was there. Baby Bok as well, and that's just one of their heroes. There's a man you know personally, Mtunzi, with a 22 on his back.
Brilliant to see him collecting Cornelius, else we saw the slight mistake by him. But wow, they played well. They've dominated for the past almost 2 years of the Pumas, and they just let this slip away. Hilton Roberts collects. Wow, so good to see him back on the pitch. Great servant for South African rugby, an incredible character as well. Rudolph has been really good for them. Pumzile Makondwana has been brilliant.
And they really have played some fascinating rugby this year. In fact, they qualified from the group stages, having won every single one of their matches with a bonus point try. So that's 4+ tries in every match. And then they went on to score 7 tries in the semi-final as well against Boland. Mtunzi, they must have been feeling good about their prospects of winning this trophy, even though Griquas themselves scored 7 tries in the semi-final.
Look, 100%. You know, Jimmy Stonehouse would have... I expected him to have a different strategy in that first 20 minutes. They were playing into the wind. Maybe kicking wasn't the right thing to do. The wind started to pick up and it did start to affect things. So that man there, Chris Smith, he's been good all season. He wasn't really great with his boots today.
A high impact off the bench came from Henku Marais. A man with a shock of blonde hair. He really runs hard any chance that he gets. And this man, Willie Engelbrecht, very unlucky in the situation when he put one of the most punishing hits that you will ever see in rugby on Zach Burger.
Yeah, it was a critical moment in the game. We saw DJ to Blanche breaking the record for the most capped South African first-class rugby player. Great to see so many records broken here today.
And Jimmy Stonehouse, after last year, going up for the winner's medal this year with disappointment. If you look at his arms, you'll see why he commands authority in his teams. Francois Davids handing out the trophies there. And the Pumas, in all of their disappointment, there is the highly influential lock, Cameron Lindsay. He actually got a call up to the preliminary German rugby squad. He was suggested by none other than Vuyo Sanka. And now, after all have gone through and received their medals, we will have an interview with the losing captain today, and that man is Ryan now, product of Paul, Jim and Marty's. And there he is with the medal being slung over his shoulders. Francois Davids, Deputy President of South African Rugby.
Ryan, things just not quite working out for you guys. Talk us through that 80 minutes.
Yeah, firstly, just like to thank the Lord for the opportunity we've had today. Yeah, you know, cricketer to Griquas, they played a good game in the final. They played the right kind of rugby. We made too many mistakes and went to them.
What would you think what would you say some of those mistakes were?
Yeah, I think we made bad decisions sometimes in our errors, penalties, wrong time in the game, managing the game wrong. But you know, there's a lesson to learn, and we'll learn from it, and then hopefully carry it over to the Currie Cup.
Unfortunately, unable to emulate the result that you had in the group stages earlier on against the Griquas. What are some of the lessons that you're learning from today to take forward into the Currie Cup?
Yeah, you know, I think we should stick to our strong points. But again, you know, we'll go back in a week's time. We'll enjoy a week's rest now, and then go into the Currie Cup a bit more prepared.
You got a game against them in a couple of weeks, I think 3 or 4 weeks' time in that Currie Cup. What are you guys looking forward to there?
Yeah, you know, it's always a derby for us to play Griquas, so we'll be excited for it. You know, we'll prepare hard, and yeah, I'm sure they'll be up for it as well. But we're hungry to play them again, and we'll enjoy that game. Unlucky
on today's result, and all the best for the Currie Cup.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the support that came out to support us. Thanks.
With that being said, it is now time to call on the winners of this year's SuperSport Rugby Challenge. The winning side coming out of Kimberley, the Tafel Lager Griquas.
Coming straight out of Kimberley, and there's Gideon van der Merwe. He comes straight out of Potchefstroom, born and bred. I believe he went to Potch Gym as well. He's a Puka legend, and all of these players are now legends in their own right. And what a SuperSport Rugby Challenge we've had this year, Mtwinzi, as the Griquas come up to receive their medals. Just tell me, what was your favorite memory from this year's tournament?
It was, like I said, a competition and a tournament of record-breaking moments. I loved the moment with Yongama Mkaza. Who can forget the 44-year-old border number 9 coming onto the pitch and playing? Brilliant.
Just incredible to have that much go forward at 44. Also a 35-year-old flank who also made his presence felt, Martin Sitole. Let's remember the Pumas had a 19-game unbeaten record coming into this match, and they got knocked over, which carries on a theme of unbeaten records being broken, as Pumas broke the unbeaten record, or rather the Cheetahs broke the unbeaten record of Province just last year. And there's the main man of the moment, Mtwinzi Mabeta.
Kwezi Mona getting along with Brent Janssen van Rensburg, who brought him here, and just sharing a joke. You can just feel the chemistry on this side. Brilliant to see that man adding to that chemistry and fitting right in to a squad that struggled for 2 years in the finals.
And let's keep in mind the players that were here last year, the likes of AJ LaRue, Sias Kun, George Whitehead, Andre Swartz, Conway Pretorius, who had to sit back last year and watch the Pumas lift the title, and now they are processing their way up to lift the title themselves. There's Brent Janssen van Rensburg. It cannot be forgotten that he was the head coach of Pumas last year, meaning he just went back to back. There's 2 people there that are going to lift the trophy that went back to back, and that is Mona, as well as Mr. Brent Janssen van Rensburg, who started his coaching career at Queen's after being at the SA Rugby Institute for 6 years. He went on to coach many teams, including being involved in the coaching staff of the Lions, EP and Boerland, before being the head coach of Pumas last year when they won the SuperSport Rugby Challenge.
What a captain George Whitehead was today.
And now we are going to have an interview with the winning captain. The joyful times are about to begin.
George, you're fetching a bit of abuse. You're fetching a bit of abuse from the guys down on the side, but talk us through that 80 minutes.
Eerstens wil ek net sê baie dankie aan die Here wat vir ons hierdie talent gegee het. Ons kultuur spreekboekdele van hierdie seisoen en ja, net alle eer aan hom.
Third time's a charm for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess third time lucky. It's good for us.
Obviously, you got a lot of emotion going through you, so the team are calling you. They're quite happy to get you through. So I'll let you walk through the tunnel, and you can go and receive your trophy from Mr. Joe Heshu, who is the Corporate Affairs Executive at the Multi-Choice Group. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 SuperSport Rugby Champions, the Griquas!
The champions of the 2019 SuperSport Rugby Challenge are on your screens right now. What you're looking at is a bunch of winners. Kwesi Mona, Brent Jansen van Rensburg, and all of the affiliated folk. Congratulations to those from Kimberley. All of the glory and all of the glamour will be showered upon these gentlemen this evening and onwards. There's Tinus de Beer, a hero of the Varsity Cup for Tuks and now a part of the Griquas family. Mtunzi, talk to me, sum it up for me.
It doesn't get better than that. What a feeling for the players. They fought for it. Look at the blue eyes here at Gladiator Park. What a performance. And rightfully so. They worked as a team. They can celebrate now as a team. It's paid off for them. What a season they've had, the Griquas.
So many stalwarts here that deserve nothing less than this. The likes of Anthony Formank, the career that he's had, the quality that he's had, he deserves it. Kwesi Mona, #1, man of the match, hero of the day, back-to-back titles. Get in there, son. Let's go down to Sam.